Hey, my name is David. I'm 29 years old and I play Quake Champions from Maestro Gaming.
He's going to push into the Mega. He knows the timing of the rocket comes out from Zen. Big rocket!
Right now I'm Seed 5 going into QuakeCon. Seed 5 definitely still puts me in a good position to win it. I feel like I feel pretty good about it. I think there's a lot of matches that will be close. It's going to be something different, but I'm looking forward to, finally putting my skills to the test.
Using that peak, it gets a fair amount of damage out of it, mind you. And
Oh
hits him
my
with the
God.
mid-air.
So did I always see myself being a professional Quake player? Not necessarily. I think early on, I've always really liked the idea of thought and philosophy. But otherwise, I think at the end of the day, it's about helping people because, if you're able to help yourself and you're having a happy life, there's no other greater joy than being able to share that with someone else and, redeem someone else who's in that position. So I think I'd either be like a psychologist or a therapist or maybe a philosopher or something along those lines anyway. So what are the elements that brought me to where I am now? Well, it's just the fact that I just want to see if it could be done. I think I wanted to just challenge myself to say, if you don't try, you won't ever know. And I think that really scared me than anything else. I wanted to just see if it could be possible. And if it's not, then it's not possible. And I think that really pushed me far. And I think also a really big part of it is humility. Now, and don't get me wrong, I can be arrogant. I can be egotistical with what the things that I do, but I try my best to make myself humble, to learn from people who have done it or who do know how to do things better than me. But then at some stage, having your own confidence and becoming your own person. And that's kind of one of the most exciting parts about playing Quake, but also life. It's just really, really fun to do.
Now ZenAku is just playing all... Oh my God!
So what piece of advice would I give to a player who's trying to improve or maybe is struggling? I think you got to take the goodness out of small victories. I think sometimes we try to get to where we want to go today or right now. And ultimately, that would be a very nice thing to do, but in reality, sometimes these things do take quite a lot of time. And when you're asking for what you're trying to do and realize that everyone else is competing for the same thing, you're going to have to take that, that slow and arduous process of becoming someone entirely different, because for you to get to where you want to go, it's not going to be who you are now. And when you realize that, you're able to kind of take that with a bit more humility, I think, and take your time with it. And then ultimately, day by day, then one day you wake up and you're there. That's quite exciting. So my career highlight for me would be probably when I first qualified IEM Katowice 2020. I think it was quite surprising, actually. It was more of the case of I set myself an early goal and got into it fairly quickly. I knew I'd been playing I played Quake Live and played Quake Champions 2 since it came out. I think top 4 at Iron Fist was also quite nice for me, I think, in a LAN environment. But the last few years, I feel like I haven't kind of come into my stride where I've had an opportunity to show myself and put myself out there. So I'm really, committing myself to this QuakeCon.
Heavy machine gun. 1 minute left. He has the light to kind of recover a little bit from, but still doing a lot of damage here. Killsa can't really do too much. He just got to stand the machine gun here because with a shotgun cleans him up with the LG. Left on 37 HP, recovers. Heavy's going to be up 45 seconds left, and it's gone from one complete turn to the other.
So goals and expectations for QuakeCon. Well, I definitely like to see myself do better than I did last year. Top 6 is already, a good stead for me, but I think definitely like at least top 4. As Fatality has said to me once you get to that top 4, anybody can win that tournament. So I think I'm kind of going into that mindset of reaching that standard, getting to at least there, and then after that, just whatever happens, happens. I think I'm ready, but you never know. You never know what type of feelings, emotions arise when we get there, and I'm just excited to see what QuakeCon has in store for me. So what would I say to my younger self if I could speak to him now? Well, I think the first thing I would say is just for him to believe in himself and have a bit more confidence. I know that's a bit, how can I say, easier said than done, but I think sometimes when you realize how much control you actually have, when you realize that you're in the control of all your decisions that you make, suddenly it's quite scary in some sense, because then you realize you have to take all the responsibility, but then it's liberating because then you can actually do something with that. You can actually take control and you can create who who you want to be. The one thing I would say is to believe in myself, and so far it's gotten me to where I am now. So
Dishing out the damage he does, as he's only 4 points behind now.
Was going in as ZenAku looks to try and make fruit salad out of Nosfar. Fair bit of damage as he will be able to strip some of that stack, but he can't get through the doorway. He's just getting bounced back by all the splash damage, but it won't matter once you let him in. He goes full Tesla and strips the life from Nosfar.
So what's next for ZenAku? Well, I'd like to be able to keep playing Quake. I think if there's another season of Quake, or if there's more LAN opportunities for me, then definitely I'll play. But other than that, maybe it might be my time to hang up the old mouse and keyboard. Well, at the moment, I'm more studying the Bible, and for me, it's been quite liberating for me. So I'd like to keep going down that road and see where it takes me. But otherwise, if I can play Quake, I'm going to play some Quake.